time?
Oh, there it is. New Year. Boom. And just like that, it's the freaking New Year, guys. It's actually kind of crazy to think about. New Year's, every single time it comes around, I know a lot of my friends say, oh, 2020 blank is going to be my year. 2024 is going to be my year. This is going to be the one. And they set all these like New Year's resolutions for themselves. Well, this time, I think it's actually going to go crazy. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that new year, new me kind of mindset. And some of the things that come along with having that kind of mindset and how I'm going to prevent myself from getting caught in this New Year's resolution trap. At least my interpretation of it. So I would say that there's this running joke that kind of all of humanity kind of cycles through every January 1st. And it's the fact that people make New Year's resolutions and they don't end up keeping them. And I kind of feel like there's two reasons why that ends up happening. One is actually mindset dependent, and the other one is actually the problem with the resolution itself. So let's talk about the problems with the resolutions itself first. So the first thing that people do when they make a New Year's resolution is they set a goal for themselves. That's what it traditionally is. Oh, I want to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to quit a certain addiction, like I'm going to stop drinking or smoking. And a lot of the times these goals kind of exist, but there's nothing to keep them in check. Now, in Boy Scouts, there's this thing that we talk about. It's called SMART goals. Now, what SMART goals are is, SMART is actually an acronym, S-M-A-R-T. SMART, the S stands for specific. Is your goal specific? So some people could say, yes, I want to hit the gym as their New Year's resolution, but specifically for what reason? Because I would say that the difference between a cardio runner and a power lifter, their goals are different. So just hitting the gym isn't specific enough. The M in SMART stands for measurable. So something that's measurable. So for example, the way I would like to quantify a measurable goal is, let's just say we have our goal of quote unquote hitting the gym. So we make that specific by saying, I want to go to the gym to train for strength. Now, some people will say, oh, I want to go to the gym to lose weight. That's a completely understandable metric to go by. Weight is a pretty measurable thing, but the problem is your weight isn't going to fluctuate every day, right? You're not going to go, you're probably going to go from Monday to Friday. More likely than not, you're not going to see a difference. At most, the difference is like 1 to 1.5 pounds. But for a lot of people, 1 to 1.5 pounds in difference in weight is not enough to give a rewarding feeling. So this goal has to be kind of measurable. So for me, the way I would do it is, instead of measuring by weight per se, I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year. Instead, what my measurable goal will be, each week I'm going to run a mile. And my change in mile time will dictate whether or not I'm accomplishing that goal. So let's just say my specific goal is I would like to hit a sub 6-minute mile. That's actually a resolution I set for myself last year. And how did I do it? Well, every day for the last couple of months of second semester, I ran a mile every day. And slowly but surely, I saw that mile time drop. And then eventually, boom, 5:45. I got sub 6. Oh, that's great. But that's because the goal was measurable. That's the thing. It has to be something that you can measure the progress of. And I'm going to be talking about SMART goals a little bit throughout this video. However, it's very important, the first two aspects, specific and measurable, because that will keep you consistent. Now, the next aspect of a SMART goal is achievable. So your goal has to be achievable. So I'm going to assume that everyone who makes a New Year's resolution makes one within reason. Right? Even the people who don't have specific or measurable goals, right? They make one that's achievable. So let's just say someone says, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's achievable. Anyone can lose 20 pounds. Vice versa, anyone can gain 20 pounds. Pretty achievable, in my opinion. Make sure it's something realistic. Obviously, if you have like your New Year's resolution as, oh, this year I'm going to win the lottery. It's achievable, but realistically not. Not much more needs to be said on that. I feel like I said that pretty well. The next thing in SMART goals are they relevant to you as a person? So let's just say, for example, you want to lose weight, right? And you give something completely preposterous out there saying, oh, in order to lose weight, I'm not going to hit the gym. I'm not going to diet better. I'm going to get more sleep. The benefit of getting more sleep relative to your weight loss journey, not very relevant. It might play a part in your energy levels, meaning, oh, I have higher energy, I'm willing to hit the gym more. Sure, I get that. But just sleep by itself will not cause you to lose more weight. Unless you're like a competitive eater and you sleep in order to avoid eating. But that's a very specific case. In 9 out of 10 people, sleeping more is not going to help you burn more calories. So it has to be relevant. And the last one is T, SMART. Last one, T is time bound. So I'm going to be talking about the SMART goals and how my personal New Year's resolutions are related to SMART goals. As for T, time bound, again, I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of this year. That's time bound. The second reason why people don't tend to keep their New Year's resolution is a mindset thing. And that mindset, I would like to call the cat or the pet mindset, right? The reason for that is actually from a book I read here. Let me get it for you guys. Okay, the book I read that talks about this like weird pet mindset is actually 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Now, I didn't really like this book that much. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know a lot of people out there have mixed opinions about Jordan Peterson. Either you like him or you don't. I don't care about that opinion. I have my own personal opinions about Jordan Peterson, but I'm going to say that this book I did not like very much. Yes, it was thought-provoking, but I feel like it was filled with a lot of unnecessary commentary, and it could have been summarized in a 10-minute YouTube video. And I would have basically gotten the same amount of value. But one of the more thought-provoking points that I did hear about in this book is actually in the second law. Now, the second law is treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Now, the example that Jordan Peterson brings up when he talks about treating yourself like someone you're responsible for is the pet analogy. This is what I'm going to be talking about. People tend to do more for others than they do themselves. So let's just say you're a person with a chronic condition. Let's just say every day you need to take medication for your kidneys. I don't know. I'm just making up an example here, but let's just say every day you have to take medication for your kidneys. And one day maybe you're a little bit tired and you say, "Oh, I guess I don't have to take my medication today. I'm going to skip it. I'll do double dose tomorrow." That's dangerous. Don't do that. But let's just say, "Oh, it'll be fine. Tomorrow I can miss a scoop of creatine today. I'll get it in tomorrow. It's fine." Right? Let's just say, creatine is a very not extreme example because one day of creatine realistically isn't going to do anything. But let's just say you miss a day of your kidney medication. And your kidney disease just so happens to be life-threatening. A lot of people will actually do that in that situation. You will miss a day of your medication just because, "Oh, I'll get it tomorrow, it's fine." That's what Jordan Peterson's talking about. That is dangerous. Now, the reason why it's called the pet analogy is because let's flip it this way. I own a cat, right? Let's just say, for example, it's my cat that has the chronic kidney disease, not me. A lot of people would have a 100%, like 100 times easier experience with saying, "Oh, I need to give my cat my medication." A lot of people on this planet will literally kill themselves to make sure that their cat gets medication every day. And that's not an exaggeration. That's serious. Why do people do this? I don't know. For some reason, people just want to help other things rather than themselves. And that's kind of the point that Jordan Peterson brings up in this book. Now, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that you should base your New Year's resolutions around other people. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is you should use other people to keep you accountable. And I'm going to bring that up later in this video when I talk about my own New Year's resolutions. I'm not here to talk about freaking Jordan Peterson. I'm here to talk about my own New Year's resolutions, what I plan to do for my own new year. 2024, again, a lot of people get trapped in this year is my year mindset. And here's how I'm actually going to make 2024 my year. I'll show you guys really quick. All right. So in order to keep my goals specific, I divided them up into 4 categories. I have academic, personal, financial, and spiritual, right? So first, an academic goal. I would like to get better grades than last semester. So I'm in the last semester of high school, meaning that senioritis could easily kick in and this New Year's resolution goes straight out the door. That's not what I'm trying to talk about, right? Here's the thing. Academics. My grades right now, last semester, my last semester grades, all A's and B's except for one class, and that's calc. Realistically, that's the only thing I could do better in. If I want to increase my GPA, I just have to try harder at math. I'm not good at math. My teacher's a great teacher. I'm just a terrible student. I can't do math if it would mean life or death. I'm being completely honest here. So get better grades than last time. That is smart because A, it's specific. Grades. Not everyone's a student. Maybe your academic goal is, I want to read 5 books this year. It's specific. Measurable. You can measure GPA. Pretty self-explanatory. Achievable. Definitely. I got a 70% on calculus last semester. It is definitely achievable. There are kids passing that class with flying colors. Okay? Reasonable. Yes, it's reasonable. I'm a full-time student. It's relevant to me. And time bound. Yes, it's time bound. I have 1 semester to achieve it. That's literally half the year. Second is personal. So I actually have 2 goals in this personal category. One is to bench 225 by the end of the year. Again, that's pretty smart in all criteria. Specific, yes. Bench 225. Measurable, yes. However close I am to 225. Achievable, dude. Like, I'm convinced half of the world can bench 225. Like, I know the statistic is like 0.5% of the world can bench 225. But like, I see so many fitness reels that I'm convinced somehow, like, subconsciously that everyone can just bench 225. Like, I go to church and my pastor, Pastor Danny, he's kind of swole. I assume he can bench 225. I don't know if he can, but he looks like he could. Yeah, so I think that's just me thing. But is it attainable? Yes, definitely. Is it relevant to me? Yes. I'm a person who loves personal fitness. I love weightlifting. I love the gym. So yes, it's relevant to me. And time by the end of the year. I said that last year I got to 205, not 225. But we're going to get there eventually. So next, I want to get to Diamond 4 in League of Legends by the end of the season. Again, I pretty much only have 1 season to do that because after this season, I go to college and I'm not going to be able to play as many video games in college. So I'm pretty much limited to now to summer, the end of summer, in order to hit Diamond 4. So that's my time constraint there. Next category, financial. So the thing is, I'm supposed to get my driver's license soon, and the reason you get a driver's license is so you can buy a car, or so you can drive a car. And in order to keep this goal specific, I'm making this goal to save up money to buy a car. Very specific. What car do I want? Well, that's completely dependent on the amount of money I end up saving, right? So there's the measurement right there. It's measurable. Every cent I save, you add it to the bank. Boom. The total goes up. I can see, numbers go up. Dopamine rush. Measurable. A, achievable. Obviously, I'm sure you can buy a car for like $1,000 and just so happen if by the end of it, I only have $1,000, you can buy a car for that. Is it gonna run well? No. But do you have a car? Yes. Or I can just buy Hot Wheels. I'm gonna be real. It's rough, man. It's really rough. Smart. So is it achievable? Yes. By all means, yes. Reasonable relative to me? Yes. It's very reasonable. Very relative to me. I do want to get around places and I do want my own car. Relative. And time constraint, I'm going to do it by August 1st. That's the goal I set for myself because college starts around August 1st and if I don't have a car by then, I'm kind of screwed. And lastly, my spiritual goal. I would like to get closer to my faith in church. Specific, I would say that's pretty specific. Measurable, I don't really, the only thing is I don't know if there's a way to actually measure that. I mean, I can measure my involvement in church, but again, that's just committing more time. Oh, I could get baptized because I'm pretty sure I was infant baptized. Or I'm not even sure if I was infant baptized. But if I get baptized, that's pretty measurable, no? Achievable? Definitely achievable. I just have to work at it. Relevant to me? Yes, I'm on like a spiritual journey right now. And time constraint? It's just a year. I mean, we'll reevaluate next year, right? And so that kind of covers the SMART goals that I've set for myself. Now let's talk about the mindset part of that later. Let's talk about the mindset part of that tomorrow. I need to like think it out before I can say it. But yeah, I think those are pretty solid 4 resolutions for my New Year's Eve. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna get some sleep and I'll see you guys tomorrow.